Hello, this is a casted game between myself, Hippie, playing as 5E Division Blindee, and I'm up against edwinfuor, playing as 79Y. And this is played as part of the SDL Monthly tournament, so this is a tournament game with picks and bans. There are no rules apart from there are 3 divisions get banned, and you roll maps in a certain order and ban maps and stuff. So both of us chose these divisions, and I am, of course, the underdog in this case because I am ladder rank 25 or something, and Edwin is ladder rank 16, and that means that I'm the underdog in this case. And so, therefore, I don't feel bad at all by playing 5e. Heard from numerous citizens of France that 5e is not OP, so I'm sure it's fine. I also get the good side, so let's talk about loop a little bit. Why is this the good side? I sort of get the town for free, because we both get here at the same time, but I've got this whole town to fall back on, and, he doesn't. In the middle, it's basically even in the middle. There's not too much of an advantage for me. And on the right, it's basically even here as well, because there's a road and then you get in. Could be argued that this building is more useful than this tree line, but it's really up to you. So, yeah, it's basically bit of a better map for me, for my side, because I've got Echo. Right, so let's get on with the deployments. I need to try and hold the town, because if I get the town for free, right, but if I lose it because I don't defend it, then it gets really hard for me to get back in, because you have to try and get in from like here or down here, and you get shot from this building, you get shot from here, you get shot from here, etc. And once you lose this, then it's really easy for your enemy to take this half of Delta, and then you're sort of hemmed in over here. So you need to try and hold the town. So I've got Chocolate Eclairs going to the town, Dragon Paras going to the town, 1 AMX-10 Blindee going to the town here, so I can put it here and like shoot across. Behind that, a Sapper's Flam, a Group Anti-Char, and a Minstrel, and they're all going to the town. In mid, I've got an AMX-10 RC going to here, and a Dragon Paras going to here. Obviously, if you're religious, you can see further than an atheist. So look at this materialistic office block here, slash social housing. They can't see very far, whereas us true men of God can see much further, as you can see from the Lost tool. And furthermore, for this, I've got Sapper's Flam, regular Sappers, and Group Anti-Char, and they're all going into the middle. On the right, I've got 1 CV to cap these 3 zones, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, AMX-10 RC Blindee going to here to stop any rushes down there, and already spoke about that. The Commandos going to here. So I'm quite sparse on the right, quite heavy in the middle, and quite heavy on the left. Moving over to my opponent's deployment. He's got 1 CV cap in India Golf Delta by the looks of it. That's very standard. And then he's got a really defensive deployment. So he's defending Motus Jockey Metis here, and then putting a BMP over there. And then he's got 1 BTR-80 deposited his guys there, and then going to here. So really defensive on the left and in the middle. And he's got, 1 Spetsnaz crew going to here in the middle. So all his troops are focused on the right. He's got 2nd CV in the form of a T-80 BVK, that's going to cap Hotel and Echo. And then he's got a bunch of forward deployers, Spetsnaz Gru and Rozvedka Saperi. They're going to take this building, this building, this building. BRM-1. Exceptional optics, but it's 70 points. I don't like it, basically. But it's going to here. And then a Cub. Cub's going to here. Fly for the Cub, presumably, and 2 TO-55s, the CV tank and Igla, and 2 more supply, and that's all going to here. So my enemy's basically given up on Foxtrot, not much in Delta at all, and he's going ham on Echo. So let's cast the game, and as always, I'll cast it from my perspective. Right, so they're off, and everybody's going to where we said they were going to go. And as I said, Edwin's higher rank on the ladder than me, and that means I'm the underdog in this fight. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So Everybody's going to where we said they were going to go. Somebody told me that I should use the 20 seconds at the start to zoom in on a unit because this game is beautiful. And check out this truck. All these geezers in the back. So he gets to the town and his geezers begin geezing. I bought an ASF at the start because I expected him to deploy 2 AA helicopters, but he does not. So instead I gun run that Spetsnaz Gru and kill it, because standard Mirage moment. Sadly there is a cutback here and it does hit me, but the chances of it hitting me twice are extremely low because this is 45% accuracy and this gets 10% ECM, which reduces the accuracy. So I said I'd cast it from this perspective and then I immediately turned the camera, but you see that my eclairs died. And these Razvedka, Saperi and Spetsnaz Gru together are actually pretty effective. Particularly with the shock bonuses. So, you know, I'm trying to flam this guy. But instead I run away when I should have just stayed actually, that was a bit dumb. But I send the vabbing because obviously this guy doesn't have AT, right? So I see that he's absolutely ham on this side, and so I'm going to send the CV into Foxtrot as well. Basically got Foxtrot, and I'm going to start moving my guys up in the middle because he's absolutely ham on this side. This Saperi's stunned, and the Vab's just slowly shooting it to death with the 50 cal, but, you know, group anti-char ain't great against this, against these guys, and the Razvedka Saperi just dies there. He just wasn't fast enough on the removal. Minstrel obviously going to lose against Spetsnaz Gru, particularly with that sniper rifle, the Dragunov. And Edwin's on a +1. But once this gets into Foxtrot, it'll be plus something to me. Once this BRDM gets in here, then it'll be plus something to him. So this is, of course, the in-depth tactical analysis that you love me for. And my AMX-10 took a hit and then had to back. So I'm trying to get some more sappers flam in here, but this has really not gone very well for me. So I need to try and make something happen over here, so I pushed the AMX-10 up, and the sappers that I sent forwards ran into this guy and got blown up. So that was too aggressive on that. He'll obviously temporarily take the zone fully while this guy's driving back in. And I buy a CV for Alpha as well. So I'm sort of fucked. I tried to get commandos up over here just to secure this side. But you see that my guys coming in and now getting shot at by the tanks and stuff, and I didn't really notice, so these guys end up dying because I just wasn't really paying attention. Could have unloaded them, but I did not. And yeah, this is sort of a waste of 2 units there. Like I said, I'm the underdog in this fight. I have the worst ladder rank. The commandos drop and immediately get set on fire by 2 of these guys, and their hit only takes off half their HP, right? So that was a dumb drop. Should have aborted that. And with this P4 PC, I figure, because I sent this VAB down this road and it didn't get shot, so I thought, oh, it's empty here. And, you know, I know the CV's over here somewhere, because it can't be over here because the AMX-10's here. So, sure, he can have mids. I'll send this CV into mids, and I'll just take his back zone in Gulf. Over here, though, I'm getting messed up. My Blindee here that I bought, he got 1 hit, but he misses his second, which you'd sort of expect, that accuracy. And I need it back, because I don't want to die in the game. So now he's got to move his BRDM out, and as he was doing that, I saw it with this, because I like saw it here or something. So now we know where his CV is. And then I just go back to take Delta, which was a bit dumb. I should have just sent this up to Delta and left this in here. So I changed my mind. Ever too late to change your mind. I get a couple P4 Milans here just to stop any push coming down here, and you can see Edwin is actually building up for a push down here. Over here he's a bit light on the AA, like he's got the Cub but no Iglas or anything, so I get the Hot 2 out and he pops his smoke there. And we see this, and the AMX-10 is on the hunt, and yeah, it's got great accuracy. It's very powerful, potentially a bit too cheap for the price. By potentially, I mean 100%. And yeah, we get that CV, so I should have got a better look on that, and then I could have put it in my CV snipe compilation, but I wasn't looking properly, so that probably wasn't good enough. And now I could get back here and cap this, but I've got this back here, and that was a bit silly. I should have put this in Delta. And this guy's caught out, really. Like, I'm out of his range. And, yeah, he could have pulled it back, like, here, but I would have just kept chasing him, so I guess he figures it's not worth it. Moving these guys up to here now. I've not spotted this yet. It's an interesting place for a unit. I mean, wouldn't you want to put it here? But, you know, it is what it is. Gazelle Hot 2 trying to hit this T80B, and it does. Quite surprising, actually. Usually they get stunned up. And then standard 5e things, just chuck a 155-point Mirage at this 140-point helicopter and kill it immediately with no counterplay, even though it's an armored helicopter. Try and be careful to stay out of this guy's AT range. And of course, I dodge all the cubs on my way out, because I'm French. Oof. Never mind. Over here, apparently there was a Spetsnaz Gru here. I guess there's not anymore. And yeah, we're trying to build up to push back. So 2 Chasseurs and a Brennus are a pretty good force, particularly when this Hot 2 killed that T80B that was there. But now he's brought up the Cub, which is not the sort of thing you want shooting helicopters. I mean, it can work, but the missiles are big and bulky and doesn't fire that many. It's an anti-plane thing, really, that can also shoot at helicopters. If it hits one, it'll do 9 damage, so it'll kill almost every helicopter in the game. So yeah, over here, just sort of messing him up a little bit. That building gets blown up by a medium machine gun AA and F1. And we got the chasseurs going, and we got a mortar for smoke. And I know, crucially, that he hasn't crossed into here, because not only do I have recon there, I've also got recon here. Oh, I guess I wouldn't actually see it, never mind. So, yeah, he's preparing for a push here, and I'm too busy messing around in the middle, really, to take any notice of that. So the game slows down a little bit. Chasseurs are coming in now. This Dragon Paris is getting messed up. I've got 2 mortars to hit that T80 there. The Blindee is not fully healed yet, and it'll get hit down to, it'll lose 9 HP from a max range shot from one of these guys. So leaving it on 1 HP is a bad idea, because then it's just going to die. And this P4 PC, I've sent it back, and now I send it back into Golf again, and then I remember that I have this, and I send this into the middle. So the chasseurs are almost there now. We got the mortars just to pepper these guys. We're not going to kill them, but we might suppress them a bit, force them to move. Or at least suppress them a bit. And this AMX has not been fully healed, much to my detriment. So Edwin's coming in over here now. And this is not a suitable force, really. I buy P4 Milan, but it's going to here. Because I just want to secure mid, so he's never getting back in there. And I'm doing my characteristic overextension, being greedy, going for Golf. Don't really have to, but it's fun. Over here, that TO-55 got nailed by LRAC 850 meter range rocket launcher. And yeah, still no Igler over here or anything. Oh, there was one, but it got killed by the mortar. Okay, so the mortars did something. Seed plane sent out for the gun. So the gun will shred this AMX-10. But yeah, I don't know if he lost vision there or what. He got me quite low, but he didn't kill me. And I sent the commandos over to here, and I figured, oh, now that I've cleared this, I know there's no one here, I can send the CV that I sent from here to mid, I can now send that into Echo. And I've secured, I've got a small bulwark here, and I can slowly work on taking the rest of the zone. I know his guys are around here somewhere. I mean, admittedly, I'm missing, but I forced this tank to go back. Etc. This guy's still low, and I had a commandos unloaded here because I thought that he'd push across here, but then I realized that he is not doing that. So yeah, he's moving in on me with the motor strelky. This guy's low cohesion from that plane run, so he can't really kill him too well. And then the plane comes back and it finishes him off. So that teaches me that I need some AA. Over here, not been paying attention, lost that P4 Milan. This one's out of ammo and the AMX-10's dead. All we've got is the commandos, so he's taken this zone pretty successfully. He's got a cub back here as well. And yeah, I moved the group anti-char over to here if in case he's going to run this guy in. And we're trying to take the rest of this zone. So 850 meter moment. And because he's facing the wrong way, he actually smokes the wrong way, right? Because you just smoke whichever way you're facing, and he had his back to me. I lose that P4 Milan, I bring up a Gazelle hot. This thing's actually out of gun ammo, so he's just keeping it around in case a Roland shoots, I guess. And I put another commandos here. On this side, the chasseurs will lose to the 2-vet motor strokey, I reckon. But, you know, I do have help. Got the mortars and everything, and we see this tank now. Just trying to move this round to here so we can shoot anybody coming down there. The Gazelle Hot 2 did a little bit, but I ended up... Oh yeah, there was a T-80B here, and now there's not, so it did a lot. And this commandos with their 850 meter range rocket launcher tags the BMP-2, which the Gazelle Hot then finishes off. Send out the Mirage for the seed plane, but obviously there's a Cub here. And an OSA, that was a cool missile. Do you see that? Practically went through the camera. But obviously, Cub's not that accurate. You'd expect one hit. Okay. And over here, moving up with the Blindee, these Hot 2s, like, he never really bought that much AA here. The Brennus, obviously, probably not going to win that fight. And then once you're stunned, you can't fire the rockets. But I've got an ATGM guy here, and I hit him in the side and whack him. Now this chasseurs is going to start shooting this guy in the side with his 850 meter range rocket launcher. And then the AMX-10 Blindee with its 18 pen 105mm gun will finish him off. Over here, I am losing this side, that AMX-10. This actually isn't cover. I know it looks like trees, but you don't actually get tree cover from being in that. Anyway, he moves this within 850 meters of this commando, which wasn't very smart, and it dies. And then I'm gonna use my CQC assault rifles with my special forces and my shock to start attacking this guy. Obviously, his AK is a CQC as well. And then I lose 2 Hot 2s on opposite sides of the map. Finally bought a Roland after that seed plane was flying around, smacking everything. And the Roland 3 gets 2 hits in a row with its 65% accuracy, which you wouldn't really expect. Put commandos back here just because I can. And I'm just in the process of trying to clear this guy out. I need to be careful with this CV here. Who knows, it could be another CV snipe moment. So the motor stroke here moving up. And they get the IFV. And they get the CV. So that was a pretty cool CV snipe moment. Over on this side, I had like an ATGM, HE plane, and it bombed this, but it didn't kill it. And now this guy is very, very alone. Although because of the weird way this hill works, this BRM-1 isn't... it's not shooting. Oh no, he sees it now. Yeah, there you go. So this commandos that are sent back here, I figured I'll just drop it on top of this low cohesion tank, see where that gets me. And I've managed to take this back, just need to kill this Spetsnaz. Over here, it's going alright, like he didn't have any AA with his push apart from this curb, so the helicopters, the Hots killed him. Let's get this guy in over here, and for some reason he never killed this, he just sort of drove away, like right past it, and now he's changed his mind, and you know, that's alright. I'll just unload from this helicopter in front of you and blow you up with my 850 meter range rocket launcher. And yeah, we need to get back in here. So we got the Hot 2s. The Cub's being brought up, but that's not really good anti-helo. This guy I could get back and live to fight another day. But he's doing alright. The shock trait has been buffed quite a bit. And so these guys being special forces and shock and max vet actually do damage with their small arms. I know it's hard to believe because these guys are all still alive. And this is basically the best damage you'll ever get. Yeah, it is what it is. And then he surrenders. So yeah, as you can see, Edwin's ranked 16th, so he's better than me. I'm ranked 22nd now. I was 25th when we played the game. So yeah, it's fair. It's fair. I'm the underdog. I'm the underdog. So I don't want anybody to accuse me of noob stomping or anything. I'm the underdog. Great use of the CV tank here. Chapovalov killed lots of people before eventually dying to Jaguar ATGM. So this was the CV tank that was on the far left by the town. That was really good. And it was Davidoff that got hit by the commandos landing on top of his head. So yeah, GG. GG, well played. I'm the underdog. GG.